To the war in Gaza now, where the Civil Defense Agency, which is controlled by Hamas, says Israeli forces killed at least 85 people on Sunday. Most were killed when crowds gathering to meet a convoy of World Food Programme trucks came under fire. Israel disputes the death toll. The army also issued evacuation orders for areas housing tens of thousands of displaced people, signaling a ground operation in central Gaza could be imminent.
Ambulances and crowds rushed to the Shifa hospital in Gaza City to bring dozens of wounded people to the facility, as well as several bodies. Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry said dozens were killed in the northern part of the territory while waiting for UN aid trucks. The UN says its trucks were approached by massive crowds of hungry people who then came under gunfire. Israel disputes the death toll, saying it only fired warning shots, and it says it's investigating the incident.
We were waiting for flour because we were hungry. We wanted to eat and drink, and suddenly the tanks came out and surrounded us and started shooting. We could not get the flour and we remained surrounded. Some of us were able to escape, some were killed and some were injured. I went to the crossing to get some bread and flour. We were surprised when tanks started firing and soldiers and drones opened fire, besieging us. I was injured in the ear and hand, and young men were killed in front of me. There were many injuries.
Further south, in Nuseirat, in central Gaza, residents managed to gather few ladles of soup. The United Nations has criticized Israel for shutting down almost all of its operations and not allowing enough food into the Gaza Strip. The UN says that it has enough food ready to be delivered to feed the entire population for 3 months. Meanwhile, in Deir al-Balah, in central Gaza, the IDF issued new evacuation orders and conducted several strikes. Israeli forces have rarely conducted ground operations in this area. According to Israeli media, the IDF suspects Hamas may be holding Israeli hostages close to the new evacuation zone.
Well, let's bring in DW's Felix Tamsut in Jerusalem for more. Felix, great to see you. So why are these evacuation orders for Deir al-Balah happening now?
Well, that's a good question, Pablo. There are some voices which suggest that this is one of the areas in the Gaza Strip where the IDF hasn't had a large-scale operation when it comes to boots on the ground. There are some reports that Hamas fighters are still active there. At the same time, it needs to be said that this is controversial for 2 reasons. First of all, as you said, due to the number of people, of Palestinians seeking shelter in the area. And second of all, when it comes to the Israeli side of things, due to suspicions that Israeli hostages are being held in the area. The headquarters of the Israeli hostage families said they were terrified by the reports that the Israeli army could be active there. And it remains to be seen whether the talks in Doha, Qatar, the indirect talks between Israel and Hamas would lead to a ceasefire and a hostage deal.
Now, there have also been more attacks on Palestinians trying to reach aid at locations across Gaza. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, this time we're talking about the northern part of the Gaza Strip, where several trucks of a UN-affiliated organization entered the Gaza Strip. Palestinians wanting to reach those trucks receiving aid were shot. Many of them were killed. We're talking about dozens of Palestinians getting killed. The IDF said that their initial investigation shows the numbers provided by the Palestinians are higher than what they would suggest, but at the same time, just the number of incidents where Palestinians have been killed as a result of them wanting to reach sites of humanitarian aid distribution is mounting. And this is something that Israel and the IDF cannot deny. It remains to be seen what the reaction would be, given the fact that we're talking about a UN affiliated organization and not the so-called Gaza Humanitarian Foundation backed by the US and Israel.
Felix, great to get that update from you, but we're going to leave it there. DW's Felix Tamsut reporting from Jerusalem. Thanks.